I can't quite see what he has in his hand.
So he is playing uh, cards from the new start or structure deck.
He's setting, I think it's a Chaiwen, a Yangzing Chaiwen.
That's possible. If I'm not mistaken, he's playing Yangzing Dinosaurs.
I think I just saw Effect Veiler maybe in his hand or something like that. And Chaiwen is able to float, so when he's destroyed by battle or card effect, he can special summon a Yangzing from the deck. I think it doesn't even matter in which position it is.
So we see from Michael a Reckless Greed, probably in. No, it was after his draw phase. So okay, so there's Morella.
What does Morella do?
It's sending a trap card from the main deck of Michael to the graveyard, and as all Paleozoic cards, like Morella is one, if a trap card on the field is activated, he can chain them from the graveyard to special summon them as monsters, as normal monsters, level 2 Aqua
1200 attack, I think.
exactly, and water as an attribute, which is kind of important, the whole thing for Totally Awesome. But we'll probably see it. And as long as they're in the monster zone, they're unaffected by monster effects, which is kind of huge, and also a big part of the success why this deck is, especially in Europe, like the deck to beat.
They have an interesting negative effect while they're on the field, because when they are getting removed from the field, they're getting banished. But usually you can just exceed with them, and then they just go back to the graveyard anyways.
Okay, so we see the second Reckless Greed of Michael.
So I see some cards now in the hand of Ludwig, which is a Daily Crow, which he's activating actually right now. It's chaining to the Reckless Greed to interrupt the chain, so that Michael can't chain his paleo traps in his graveyard right now, because they have to be directly chained to the trap cards, otherwise they can't activate.
Exactly.
And he's also trying, of course, to banish one of his traps directly, so that he can't use them anymore.
So he banished the Ronin Toad.
Oh, actually, that's also a great choice, because Ronin Toad can recur his all the time back from the graveyard, depending on how many frogs he has in his graveyard. I also saw a Effect Veiler in Ludwig's hand and a Miscellaneous Saurus, I think.
Okay, so we see now a Shadow Squamata and a Phantom Knight. I'm not sure about his name, Oak something. So he's playing Shadow PK Paleozoics. Interesting choice.
A great normal summon with Swap Frog. He's now able to send one of his frogs, actually like water monsters, I think he sends to the graveyard.
He can send a Aqua level monster. 2 or lower monster from the hand, field, or from the field or deck to the graveyard.
And now he's able to make a rank 2.
And
he's going,
like, I mean,
totally
probably
awesome.
also the best name in the game.
Yeah.
Totally Awesome. So for Totally Awesome, it's kind of big of a threat for everything, because you can tribute an Aqua monster or send an Aqua monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard to negate the activation of a spell trap card or a monster effect. And if you do so, you can choose to set the card to your field. And during the Stamper phase, you can detach one material from Totally Awesome to special summon Frog monster from your deck, except Frog to Jam.
Yeah, now he runs over Chaiwen. Chaiwen, when he's destroyed by battle or card effect, he can special summon a Yangzing monster. I think it doesn't have a level restriction. And it also has a second effect, which is in his graveyard. When I think a monster would be destroyed, he can special summon it back to the field, but it will be when it leaves the field, it's getting banished. But it's also a level 1 tuner, which is important for the deck to go into their main synchros.
But we see now Michael in a really good position, like Totally Awesome with multiple back row is the normal way how Paleozoic is beating his opponents.
So he special summoned a Swanee, which is like the strongest normal summonable monster they have in their main deck with 1900 attack. which also is giving. The interesting part of Yang Zings is they're giving their synchros that they are synced for some extra effects. And Yang Zings, the effect of Suani is that the monster gains 500 attack. The synchro monster, which is getting synchro summoned using him as a material. And all the non-tuners have a gimmicky effect that you can use them to synchro and during opponent's turn using the monsters that you control right now.
Could be interesting if we get at this point. But I think Ludwig's hand isn't that great. He has the Speedroid Red Dice in hand, a Raigeki Effect Whaler, and now,
Yeah.
So we
chooses to activate Miscellaneous Saurus. You can discard this card to actually make all your, I think it's dinosaur monsters,
exactly.
to be unaffected from activated card effects on the field. So it's always activatable. It just works during this main phase. But this way he's getting another monster in his graveyard, which he might be able to recover with some other cards. I don't know his entire
We
hand.
see on Michael's side the third Reckless Greed.
Wow, that's a lot of Reckless Greeds that he had. That's a lot of
absolutely
advantage.
Interesting to see that in 60 cards to resolve all three, like in the same 2 turns, so you don't have any drawbacks. Okay, so he's summoning Soul Oviraptor.
Yes, this card is one of the new cards from the structure deck. It has multiple effects. When it's a normal or special summoned, you can either send one dinosaur from your deck to the graveyard or add it to your hand. And the other effect is you can target the dinosaur on the field, destroy it to target another dinosaur in your graveyard to special summon it. Both effects you can use during your turn once, and it's a really good toolbox card and really good enabler for some really great plays.
And now we see that Ludwig baited out the Toad negation.
With the Oviraptor.
Yeah, and as he discarded the Miscellaneous it isn't negated, so he can continue, and Toad can't negate anything.
Yeah, I think Toad will just resolve without actually negating the Oviraptor. He will just have to pay the cost to tribute, and then he won't be able to negate the Oviraptor, and he will be able to search, and he will have 2 level 4 monsters, which he can use for rank 4 plays if he's playing any rank 4s. Let's see what he has in his extra deck. Interesting choice. He has a Carbonala Warrior as a second instant fusion target.
Okay.
And he is playing actually Broadbull and Trident, those 2 Zodiac cards as rank 4s, which he might be able to go into to destroy the Totally Awesome to get rid of it.
So what could we see? Is he also playing Trishula?
Trishula in his extra deck. Let's see what he's playing in his extra deck. I don't see any Trishula actually. I see a Librarian as a synchro target, Yazi, Denglong, Baxia, and Herald of the Arc Light, and the Chambara.
Okay.
The other ones are either rank 4s or rank 3s, or fusion monsters that he can use with instant fusion.
As he has the Miscellaneous in the graveyard to potentially special summon something. So he searched like the new boss monster of the deck, which is his name is
I think it's
Ultimate Conductor Tyranno.
Oh yeah. The problem is right now he doesn't have any others. He's playing Aelo, of course.
So he could go into like level 5 synchro.
Or level 9 as we just discussed, but he doesn't have Trishula in his extra deck.
But I think...
Nor even Xiao Feng. I think he's not even playing their own level 9 synchro monster.
There's another one which is kind of great, level 5,
yes,
which acts in multiple ways, and that's...
Denglong. Denglong has 3 effects actually, which are all pretty great. If he would leave the field, or when he's leaving the field, he's special summoning another Yang Zing from his deck. I think if when he's synchro summoned or special summoned, he can search you Yang Zing card to the hand.
When special summoned, yeah.
And I think he can send one Yang Zing monster from the deck to the graveyard to manipulate its level.
Exactly. He can even send any were monster, which
true.
is could be kind of huge. So he's searching the path. So I could see like modifying his level to 3 to summoning Yasu.
He has Bian, Shaiwan, and Suani in his deck still. Those are the three Young Zings he's playing.
So he's sending Suani. So probably go into Waxia now. And bouncing 2 of the cards of Michael, which is no longer in that great position he was a few minutes ago.
So he's going for Baxia. Targeting to back row. He's contemplating to chain. Lost wind is changed.
It's a pretty good response for Michael.
I think he still has to resolve the Denglong though in the graveyard, which he used as a synchro material. And he chains a Canadia from his graveyard to have 2 Paleozoic monsters on his field to make further plays next turn.
I'm actually curious if Michael has like a battle trap or something face down, because I don't see a reason at the moment to summoning too many Paleozoics.
I actually know the reason, because I think I saw him drawing during, I think like with the second or with the third Reckless, he draw 1 Wabuku. So the Wabuku is able to protect those monsters entirely from getting removed from the field, so he's able to advance his game set in his next turn. He added himself a Yangzing Path to get more draws in, to get more combo pieces maybe some board wipes or back row wipes, because those Paleozoics are still affected by spell cards, for example. If he top decks a Raigeki or something, that would be huge.
Yeah.
Because those Paleozoics would get banished, and the Toad, would be able to at least get something out of the graveyard.
So he drew a Twin Twister, if I'm not mistaken, which could be now kind of huge.
The problem is he still is not able to get over the Toad, because I think the Baxia is only like 1,300 attack now.
Well, doesn't he have like the super or the ultimate conductor Tyranno in hand?
I think he has he has 2 dinosaurs actually. He's able to make a huge push actually now with this monster, because his effect is pretty great on the field. So I think he will now try to clear the back row and then go for the ultimate Tyranno play.
So he's discarding
the red eye dice.
So probably Marella and
Shadow Fusion actually.
So probably he drew the Waboku, but just as 3rd card. But then I'm actually not sure why he summoned so many Paleozoics, because it's still kind of risky if you don't have any defense for them, and if you know your opponent has the...
Does he know that he has added the boss monster? I think he had it in his...
with the Oviraptor.
Because the problem is the boss monster, he can special summon it by banishing 2 dinosaurs from his graveyard, and he can just destroy any of his monsters on the field or in his hand to actually set all of the monsters face down, and if he's attacking a defense position monster, he can just send it to the graveyard before the damage step. So when those... actually, he won't be even able to actually send those monsters to the graveyard, because they are unaffected by monster effects. He would be only able to send the Totally Awesome. The Paleozoic will be still unaffected by the big monster. But Ultimate Conductor Tyranno can always attack every monster once each, so he can run them over in battle. So I think he will opt to go this route. I'm just curious if you are able to activate Ultimate Conductor Tyranno's effect to at least give him this 1,000 burn damage and then continue the battle. That would be an interesting ruling question. I think this should be possible.
So Mike decided to send back Totally Awesome, Really Awesome, and Ultimate Conductor Tyranno just like destroyed the whole field of Michael
on its own.
And as Michael is still under Reckless Grid for 2 turns, it doesn't look that good anymore for him.
He should have at least like 2 cards in hand from his Reckless Greed, from his last one that he has activated. I think they're comparing life points right now because I think he still activated Ultimate Conductor Tyrannus effect. Let's see what exactly. At the start of the damage step, when this card attacks a defense position monster, you can inflict 1000 damage to your opponent, and if you do, send that defense position monster to the graveyard. I think you will be able to partially resolve this effect.
Could be.
Because the damage has to be dealt first, and then he's able to send, but he won't be able to properly resolve it because they are unaffected by monster effects. So this way he would go for a huge push right now. Although the Bucks is pretty weak right now with 1150 attack, I think, because it was halved by Lost Wind.
But he's still got like 500 from Suani, if I'm not mistaken, so he would be at 1400.
That's true, actually. He used Suani as a synchro material, so he gains 500 attack back. So they're still comparing the life points, because now they have to calculate with the 50. So which options does Michael have right now in his graveyard?
He has a spell card in hand, so could be Shuttle Fusion, maybe.
Does he have a Ronin Totem in his graveyard right now?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. What do we
so he has like 2 Shuttle monsters, a trap, and the...
Was the spell a Raigeki, or was it something different? Or was it maybe a card of the
he has a Ronin Totem Grave, my bad.
Oh, he has a Ronin. Okay, then he has at least some place.
So, what you said about Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, he can book all opponent's monster, right?
All opponent's monsters he can book by destroying one of your monsters in your hand or on the field, and then he's setting all opponent's monsters to face down defense position. It's like a Book of Eclipse that you can use during your opponent's turn without the negative effect of Book of Eclipse.
There's the next card of Demise, which could get him back into the game, but he draws 2 non-monsters. Oh.
He will have to discard a lot during the end phase.
I would actually... Yeah, okay.
Oh wow, 3 monsters.
Squamata and Absolute Jack. So...
It's a smart play, actually, that Michael set it his monster and didn't summon it, because...
I'm actually curious, maybe we have to tell them that he can't set the Falco.
He can't.
Card
Card of Demise is not a card effect in the end.
So we have to get in touch with the judge. Okay. He's now resolving the Squamata and the Absolute Jack. I'm curious about the order of the chain links, because if he decided to do it correctly, he can actually stack and then draw. So like choosing the draw he wants to. But apparently he didn't do it.
So now he has 2 defense position monsters which are waiting for the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno to get sent to the graveyard, with dealing 2000 points of damage.
Okay, and now we have our media designer, Vale, down there to quickly explain that Falco can't be special summoned after Card of Demise.
Can you explain why?
Card of Demise is fantastic as a card because you can draw until you have 3 cards in hand. But it also has to have some drawbacks, and there are that you have to discard your entire hand in the end phase, and also you cannot special summon during the turn you activate the card.
That already is excluding then Falco for being able to special summon, because he can't special summon during this turn period.
Exactly. And I think there's also something out with you can't deal any damage after using Card of Demise for the rest of the turn.
Yeah.
So you could still attack before, but... And now... pretty sure
he is activating Upstart Goblin.
This game could be over soon.
If this is not a Waboku that Michael has faced down, then he's going to be in trouble. Either way, the face-down monster won't survive the attack of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno because his effect to send the monster to the graveyard is triggering before it's getting flipped face up, so there's no protection that the monster might get offered by anything. I think Ludwig would like to actually activate his Conductor Tyranno to destroy his Beyond to get in even more plays, but he can't because his opponent does not control any face-up monsters that he could set face down, and he can't activate his effect till then. So, oh, he's normal summoning Effect Veiler, so he's seeking for another tuner.
So probably going into Herald of the Arclight.
Yes, this is. I think it's only level 4 Synchro monster that he's playing in his extra deck. Yes.
But it's quite amazing in the Yang Zing deck, especially because of Bion's ability. As you already explained, Suani gives 500 attack,
Yes.
and Bion...
Bion is making the monster indestructible by battle, so you have... oh, he also has a Raigeki.
Okay.
It's interesting that he's activating it, actually, because I wouldn't have done it. Right now, he's triggering the Hedgehog, and the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno can't even send it to the graveyard to deal 1000 extra damage.
I think it's alright because he will go for game now because of the life points.
It depends. If the opponent has now the Waboku, if he would have one, then the Hedgehog would be able at least to get him some cards which are able to make him store more.
Well, he summoned the Herald of Arclight, so he can prevent the back row.
That's actually true.
So
we should explain maybe what Herald of the Arclight does. You can negate monsters, spell or trap cards by tributing itself. And I think it's not banishing, it's just destroying the card. And cards which would be, I think, sent from the hand to the graveyard or from the deck to the graveyard are banished instead.
Exactly.
And when this card is sent to the graveyard, in any way, shape or form, you can add yourself a ritual monster or ritual spell card to the hand. I don't think that we are going to see this effect during this game because he's not playing any ritual-related cards.
But it was kind of important, this part of the effect, back in the Necros time.
Yes. That was the major part because you were able to, you can send it just from the extra deck directly to trigger it. And it's still a really useful card in different other decks like Gishkis. They can synchro summon for it and search with it. And of course, still Necros are using this card extensively. But it's also a good stun card on its own. Especially with Bion backing it up so that it's not destructible by battle. So you have a really safe negate.
Okay. So he has like the MST face down.
Yeah, but you can't use it.
What is it called?
Olenoides.
Okay.
Olenoides. But he's he's out of the game. He has no targets for it, and
so
the attack were too much.
Ludwig Ram takes game 1 with
interesting.
Some pretty cool combos.
The opening of the Paleozoic player was pretty good with Card of Demise, but Ludwig was able to grind through this whole back row. That was amazing. So this is the power of the new dinos.
Yeah, I think we saw that Michael had a little bit trouble. Like he probably don't know the dino cards.
That might be actually an issue because the cards are, I think, like for 1 week available right now, and they're pretty new and they have pretty great effects, as we already told. And the boss monster especially is pretty unstoppable against a huge board.
And especially as we saw it with the, how is it called, the
Miscellaneousaurus, which was able to protect the entire field.
It's an amazing card.
Yes.
Like, especially with the Toad, that was like fooled in the end, or maybe Michael was fooled with it, because it looked like a strange play from Ludwig in the beginning, just to turn around the whole field. Yeah,
it's great. It's great. It's a great card. It's also pretty new because I think it was released in Raging Tempest first, and it just got its reprint in its in the structure deck. And the effect is pretty unique till now. That it's just affecting directly the entire main phase, and it's just protecting all the dinosaurs.
Yeah. Well, for the side decks, what do you have
actually
for Ludwig?
Ludwig does play Didi Crow, Dogoran, the Madflame Kaiju. Psyframes actually. 3 deltas and 1 driver, 3 anti-magic arrows. I hope we will see them maybe in game 2, because that might be a pretty good move to activate them during the battle phase so the opponent can't do anything with his traps. Oh,
and then main phase 2 he can do like his normal...
Lagia plays, build up, or Yang Zing plays.
Exactly.
He has also Dark Hole, another Yang Zing Path for deck thinning, I think. An anti-spell fragrance, which I think we won't see. Another 9 Pillars of the Yang Zing as an extra negate in the Solemn Warning. I think he would side in those cards when he's going first.
But it looks well chosen.
Yeah.
The cards, like there's a strategy behind all the cards. Would be kind of interesting. The Young Sing path looks interesting for me, but
Yeah.
all the other cards seems like there's a reason why they're there, and probably we will see it now in game 2.
Yes. And which kind of side deck options do we have for its opponent?
Well, for Michael, we have 2 Forbidden Apocryphas, 1 Breakthrough Skill, Chain Disappearance, Darkhold, Raigeki, Anti-Spell Fragrance, 2 Squamadas, 2 Ghost Match, and 1 Solemn Warning. So also, um, it looks like a lot of trap cards, which are
Gozen Match might be a
especially good.
pretty strong card actually in this matchup because the
Yeah.
dinosaurs are all over the place, as well as the Yang Zing. So this might hinder him a lot during this game. If he's able to draw one of those Gozen matches, he will be really good to go.
And as we saw game 1, I think also, even if you don't own the Dino cards or the Yang Sing combos, you saw that they're all different attributes. So
Yeah, they are light, fire, water. The same goes also with the dinosaurs. There's multiples which are Earth actually, but yeah, usually if you're going to your extra deck plays, you have to change the type, and you won't be able to do that on a Gozen Mage.
yeah,
So he's setting up again with a card of demise play turn 1, which is always a great opener.
looks similar to the first game.
Yes. Drawing a Shadow Fusion, Quaking Mirror Force, and
Squamada,
Squamada.
which is alright because Card of Demise discarding effect counts as a card effect, so he can send with Squamada a beast to the graveyard.
Yeah, because he already resolved Card of Demise, he doesn't have to discard the card that he's drawing with Squamata. Yeah, with Beast. Sorry. So again, he is facing 5 back row, always imposing.
Would actually be cool to see now the anti-magic arrows.
If he actually has sided them in, that would be a really interesting move. I don't think that the opponent will expect this card.
Not at all.
Anti-magic arrows, for all of them who don't know what it does, I will read the effect once. Maybe we will see them. It's where it is. There it is. At the start of the battle phase, for the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, spell and trap cards and their effects cannot be activated. So he can't use anything of his back row, and cards and effects cannot be activated in response to this card's activation. So he will be directly nailed down when this card is activated.
So we see Soul
So,
Charge.
do we have it actually in the starting hand?
Not sure.
I see a spell. I don't know if it's a Twin Twister or if it's. I think it's a Twin Twister. So he's going for a Swanee normal summon, which is quite sad because he can't run over any of the frogs because they all have 2,000 defense except for Swap Frog. And he won't be able to go through it. Oh.
And we see what is it called? The Book of Moon one?
It's Canadia.
The Canaria.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, all Paleozoic have the same effect with this graveyard special summon effect, and they get banished, and they are same type and everything, but they all have their unique on-field effects. And this is like the Book of Moon. You can target a monster on the field and set it face down. Okay, yes, I think it's Soul Charge. What is this? What's the other spell?
Yeah, he has a Soul Charge in hand.
yeah.
Takutenborg.
I think it's Twin Twister.
So it's back to Michael. And looks
He's actually special summoning Swap Rock on his hand.
it's not that bad.
Now he can make a lot of graveyard setup for his plays. Swap Rock can trigger on the normal and the special summon, and he can also bounce it back to get actually a second normal summon for another frog except for himself.
And Frog to Jam.
And except Frog the Jam. And he will be able to normal summon it now again just for the regular normal summon. He can't normal summon it again for his own effect. But this way he will be able to send 2 cards to his graveyard, which makes the Ronin Totem plays much better because he'll have much more resources to work with.
So he flip summons the Deep Frog to go probably again into
Totally awesome. Okay. So I don't know. Will he negate the Swanee effect when he ran, or does it run? Does he want to run it over during battle? Oh, okay. This is a great card. He's flipping over Gozen Match. So when he's running over the Swanee, he's still able to special summon one of his monsters, but he won't be able to do that much on his turn.
Yeah.
Except he's able to match somehow his attributes. So now I think he's gonna go for the Paleozoic Seas,
Yeah.
I think,
Opabinia.
or Pabinia.
So what it does is you need two level 2 monsters, and if it has a trap card as a material, you can detach one card to search a Paleozoic trap card from your deck to the hand, and as long as Opabinia is on the field, you can activate your Paleozoic trap cards from your hand directly without setting them face down.
So it makes them spell cards actually, as long as he's on the field, which is even like quick play spell cards, because you can use them also during an opponent's turn from the hand, which is amazing.
And what is pretty cool about it, like a lot of players or of the competitive players don't like the whole trap concept, like playing just trap deck.
Yeah.
But Paleozoic is much more than that, because you have this options with Albina to make them to spells and like going into great combos or big combos.
Now he's activating Olenoides to destroy one of his back row cards. The problem for our opponent is that he has a Twin Twister face down to get rid of the Gozen Match. The problem is he still has to face a totally awesome, which might negate it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be difficult to play through this field, actually. I think, yeah, he will have to top deck some really great cards. So now he's contemplating about negating the Swanee or not.
Would be interesting, but not sure if it would be like the optimal play.
I wouldn't do it because any monster he's special summoning is either just for stalling reasons right now.
Yeah.
He won't be able to extend his plays much further, I think. I don't think that he can do that much because I don't see anything in the extra deck which might be like really synchro summable at all, because he either has then too many earths on his field or too many fires, and he doesn't have any corresponding extra deck monsters in his extra deck, which he can actually summon.
So basically what he is needing is a second out for Gozen Match, because
Yeah,
the Twin Twister alone isn't enough with Totally Awesome.
Yeah, he needs to bait the Totally Awesome or tribute it maybe with the Dogoran, which would be also a play. He needs to get rid of it really fast, otherwise he won't have that much time to survive on this game.
And that's actually also a point why Totally Awesome is so good or so popular, because you put your opponent normally on a like 2-turn clock, but they have like 2 turns to respond to everything that is happening, and otherwise he could be in big troubles.
Yes. The only thing that he might be able to do is if he has a level 4 light monster that he can synchro summon for Denglong directly. That would be the only play I would see, but he's passing again with the set card. I think he drew the second Gozen Match, Michael.
That would be huge. Ludwig drew like another 9 pillar,
which he can use actually, because he has an actual target on his field, and it can actually negate Totally Awesome, because it's a counter trap and he's not able to respond to it.
So he's probably going to wait to use like Twin Twister at a point and just negating the Toad with 9 pillar.
Maybe you should explain what 9 Pillars actually does. It's a counter trap, which allows to negate the activation of a spell, trap card, or monster effect when you control a Young Zing card. And when you negated the activation, you can shuffle the card which was activated back into the deck and destroy one of your other Young Zing cards that you control. And this way you can just trigger them again so that they float and get back more monsters.
So, and on Michael's side, we see now the Paleozoic Anomacrylis. I think it's
Anomalocaris it is.
Exactly. Which can detach one material to destroy a card on the field as long as it has a trap monster as a material. And the second part of his effect, which is probably even bigger, is when a trap card is activated on the field or resolved, you can look at the top card of your deck, and if it's a trap card, you can add it to your hand, and otherwise it is sent to the graveyard.
Yeah, it's triggering when the trap card is sent from the spell and trap card zone to the graveyard. Now he's chaining the Twin Twisters to target 2 back rows.
So probably Toad will try to negate it, and there will be the.
Let's
Mind
see.
guard.
Maybe he will be like. I don't know. He's actually.
Okay.
Okay, then he's tributing as he's sending Toad to the graveyard as a cost, and now he will react with 9 pillars.
So he will negate the Toad, and the 2 back rows are destroyed.
Yeah, and Anomalocaris, yes, misses its target, more or less. So now the chain is going to resolve.
Can't see. That was a Shovel Fusion.
Toad has to be shuffled back into the deck, I think, now, because
Yeah.
the effect of 9 pillars shuffles it back, so it doesn't matter where it went. Does it? I don't. Does it? Is it able to activate in the extra deck now to revive another card?
Don't think so.
I'm
Pretty sure
not.
not.
I'm actually also not sure.
I'm actually curious why Ludwig decided to not special summon anything with.
He did
Shivan.
not. Maybe he sided out some of his young things, and now he does not have enough targets anymore. That might be an issue.
Well, would be in. It would look. Okay, so he's just
Usually he's playing 5
Okay.
of them in the main deck. Maybe he sided them out just for having some combo plays, so that might be an actual issue now.
But he's still like in an okay-ish position.
Yeah, the Toad is gone, which is pretty huge now. So maybe he, with a decent top deck, especially having Soul Charge and having a lot of life points still left, because we know that Paleozoic is not that kind of an OTK deck usually.
So he didn't draw a Ghost match, but it changes appearance.
Okay. He has the Oviraptor in his hand, Ludwig, so he was able to maybe establish a little bit of pressure again.
So what could we see now? Like sending probably
I think he will.
the Miscellaneous.
I think he will just search it and discard it directly, just to have the protection for it and having him still in the graveyard.
Okay.
This is usually the regular play. You never actually send directly him to the graveyard
Okay.
because you would like to have the benefit of its effect. And he has still Soul Charge, so he's able to actually make maybe a rank 4 play into some great dinosaur monsters, or maybe monsters which are related to dinosaur monsters like Lagia and Doka, which are actually dragons.
For some reason.
Or he's going for Denglong. That might be also an option. Now I'm curious what he's gonna do now.
My question is now if Michael is using a Chinese appearance here, which would be, in my opinion, alright, because normally the Dino deck wouldn't have that many follow-up plays afterwards.
He's not reacting to it. So now Denglong comes down again.
Oh, well, yeah, he discarded the Miscellaneous, so Chinese appearance wouldn't have to do anything like.
That's actually true.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, so but also at this point it's okay to use it on Denglong.
Especially we still think that he does not have any targets left to get back from his monsters.
Yeah.
Because he didn't even trigger the first Young Zing before. So now he's reading the card. And he still has the possibility to use Anomalocaris.
So it would be time for the feature match. Not sure if they are aware of it.
Habt ihr denen gesagt, dass sie... I think he still has the effect of Anomalocaris to destroy a card as long as he has a trap card. As a material,
Yeah.
it is a Trident.
Okay. I think they're now discussing if Chinese appearance is also banishing from the extra deck.
Let's see. It has a new wording actually.
I think
right
on
now.
the older texts, or back in the days, it was ruled like that.
Right now it's just saying end deck. So deck usually means main deck, doesn't it?
Yeah. So he can search.
You can search now any Yang Zing spell or trap.
Probably the path.
Yeah, that would be interesting because you will be able to recycle his Yang Zing monsters. I think now they're discussing the timeout.
No, I think they called the judge concerning Jane's appearance.
Okay. If it vanishes from the extra deck or not.
Yeah.
Okay. I think now they are good to go.
So he goes for 9
9 pillars. He actually has a target.
Could be Chivan because he couldn't summon Chivan with Chivan.
That's true, actually. Maybe he just had the same target, which would be usually bad.
Or he has a... Okay.
Or he only has the Beyond. That's interesting. I don't understand why he didn't float before. Maybe he wanted to keep it in his deck to have something floating long.
Yeah. Which would make sense, actually.
Because otherwise Beyond would be just some monster on the field which you might be able to run over and it wouldn't do anything.
So now he's in a tough position because Soul Charge isn't that great in time.
No, it's true.
But
yeah, he's using it.
He still has to do it, like otherwise he just can get run over by the Paleozoics.
He's targeting Shaiwen and Soani already, so the entire Yang Zing brigade.
Hope.
I would presume that he's trying to get some dinosaurs on the field as well.
Okay.
He's going all in. So let's see. Is he now gonna go for another Danglong? He's going for Librarian.
Yeah. I think you can only special summon Danglong once per turn.
It's actually true.
So if Michael knows what could happen on Ludwig's side, he should, in my opinion, destroy the Chivan with Anomacrylus, because now we have Boxia in play.
Now I think the Librarian will trigger as Chain Link 1 because it's I think it's not it's a mandatory effect.
Exactly.
When you synchro summon, when the monster synchro summon to the field, then draw 1 card. Pretty basic effect, but pretty great because it's not once per turn.
Yeah. And Boxia is shuffling back cards on the field into the deck.
It's also on its summon, isn't it?
On its special synchro summon.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think Librarian is chaining 1, Baxia is chaining 2, and then Michael can try to respond to the Baxia, but he cannot directly respond to the Librarian. But the interesting part is Librarian needs to stay face up to resolve. Actually, if he does not stay face up, he does not get a draw.
Okay. Now, actually, yeah, the cards are getting shoved back into the deck. Michael thought it was sent to the graveyard. But Ludwig is still in a tough position because Anomacrylus can just like destroy Boxia.
I find it interesting that Anomacrylus was not destroying the Librarian so that he does not get the draw. Or did he use Anomacrylus this turn already? I don't think
not yet.
So then he should be able to, then he needs to resolve the Library because it's a mandatory effect, otherwise both players did not resolve a mandatory effect. Did he draw a card?
I think so, yeah.
I think so. So now he's trying to recycle a little bit to get 2 more cards. It's interesting that now Michael does not have any trap cards left, and he can't search any more trap cards.
I'm not sure about the graveyard. I think there is already a frog, so if Anomacrylus is destroying something, he can just get like another rank 2 play.
He drew another Yangzing path, which is once per turn, sadly. Setting 2.
So would be yeah. Well, he could have used like Acrylis in the end phase to destroy one of the back row or Baxia.
It's interesting that he's still not opting to use it at all. Maybe he thinks it's not even a quick effect. Who knows?
Or
now he's using it.
Probably he was also thinking that it was not necessary to destroy something, to now like bait out the 9 pillar, to getting rid of Baxia and the back row.
But you could also just could be able just to destroy the back row without even able to chain it. That would be also an interesting option, and be still able to destroy something on his turn again.
So probably Michael is thinking about what he wants to destroy, or did he already target?
Oh, he has a double Ronin Toad and then like 5 frogs in his grave, so he has a lot of plays. Especially with having Leancoli on the field, he's able to go maybe another Opabinia to go for more traps from his deck. So I think he will be able to outgrind him here, maybe.
So Michael used Acrylis on Baxia. So 9 pillar is going to negate the Acrylis, shuffling it back to the extra deck. Okay. And I think, as we know, the other face down card on Ludwig's side is the Yangtze path. So he doesn't have anything left to defend himself in a proper way. Probably going into Opabinia, like you said before.
Yeah, I think he will go into it and search himself a trap. Oh no, that's interesting actually. I think he just wants to back up his plays.
Oh, okay. He has Canadia, so he can flip face down Librarian, special summon back another trap card.
And he can still go for his play from now on because he still has a second Ronin Totem which he can special summon to go for a second Opabinia and then go for further plays.
So it was actually a smart move to play around some back row,
yeah,
which could interrupt the whole thing.
Oh, he's thinking about Augusta Phoenix.
To end it immediately at this point.
He has only 2,600 life points left, so he would be able... I don't... how much defense does our great TG Hyper Librarian
1,800 or something like that.
It's 1,800. It's 1,800 exactly. Oh, wow.
So he goes for a second Toad. So he leaves Ludwig with 400 life points left. Okay. And that was it.
That was it. So we end with this game in a draw. We only had 2 games.
Oh, yeah, indeed.
Interesting.
So
this time our Dino player was not able to grind through the entire traps, which is quite sad, but yeah, we still got an interesting game 1 and game 2, where both players were able to shine with their decks respectively and to show some of their strengths and some of their weaknesses as well.
I think the problem was mainly because the Yangtze cards on its own, they aren't that great against Palazoic, especially as Baxia can like just not shuffling back the monsters, so they still stay on the field.
Yeah.
So you have to deal with back row and the monsters afterwards. Yeah, what else to say about this matchup?
It was pretty interesting in game 1 to see like how the Dinos were able to grind through the entire back row. We usually don't see that that often happening, except with maybe Metal Foes. Metal Foes have a great grind game, but yeah, we were able to see like the entire new structure deck in action almost, except for the small guys, because he's not even playing them. he's not even playing Baby Cerosaurus or Petit Pteranodon from this new structure deck.
But as we saw, it's probably not needed.
In this build, I will assume it's not needed. He's playing with two Juragaelo, so he's playing for the more Yang Zing centric way, and it's also an interesting other concept, and it works pretty great, as we have seen. He was able to grind through all the traps and make a great position after two turns. And yes, yeah, game two, he sadly had not enough to go through, but yeah.
Well, I think we're going to try to get Ludwig for a short interview.
Yeah.
As I think the only representative of Sweden. So yeah, stay tuned for the interview, guys.